Hello, 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 everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, yesterday's meeting did not go well. Yesterday's meeting was complete chaos. I mean, complete chaos. Guys, complete chaos. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. When you think of a company meeting, you think that nobody's going to talk and everybody's just going to agree to disagree. But everybody is grown adults. We're grown adults, guys. So everybody's going to have a disagreement. Everybody's going to have an opinion. And it's the people that take the opinion to a different level. Guys, I swear, and I was tipsy. And when I get tipsy and my slight fuzzy, I kind of say things somewhat a little bit aggressively. At the same time, I don't know I'm saying it sometimes. That I'm saying aggressively or okay, or is it coming out right? I know in my mind it's coming out right. Oh my goodness, oh my gosh. It was just such a disaster, guys. So, first things first was I get there at the same usual time. I always like to get there a little bit early now that my battery was going crazy and stuff, so I needed to get there extra early. So I got there on time and got in, and they were like, okay, yeah, the young people were like, oh, okay, we're gonna have a meeting. Wow, I never had a meeting before. Because we have a couple of, at least 3 teenagers in my field. And so they're like excited for the meeting because again, it's kind of like their first meeting because it's kind of like their first job. I tell you, bro. Oh, I'm so exhausted because I've been going at it for freaking 2 days or so. So we get there, and everybody else starts showing up. We had the meeting towards the back area of the facility. Now, the manager, of course, is gonna have some snacks. I thought that we were gonna have food. I really thought I was gonna eat some food, but we got snacks instead. And so it was good snacks, so I can't say much about it, but it was very good snacks. So I'm like, oh well, I'll take it. We sat on some buckets. A couple people sat on some buckets, and the store manager said, is there anybody that has any questions before we start? And I'm all like, that's odd. I said, that's odd. I'll have the questions towards the end because we need to cap over that first. First, you have a meeting and then you ask questions at the end. And she's like, well, nobody wants to be here at the end. I said, well, that's the thing. We gotta talk about it. Now, me and the store manager, we've been butting heads a lot. And if y'all weren't here on my last episode about three days ago or so, I did tell you that me and her got into it, and that she was just like, I'm gonna write you up for keeping the counters dirty. If I find them dirty, and I told her I'm always cleaning. That's why I get on her that the counters are dirty. And again, I get it that you're the manager, you don't want to be taught what to do. But on some things, it's the reality check. You need to consume that. Like, okay, I need to work better on that. Consume it. Some people don't know how to consume things. So then we get towards, talking about, the goals and how to make money on different kind of things and how to bring on business and stuff. The usual get go. And then finally we get towards the end where they're talking about, okay, what do y'all want to know? What are your thoughts and opinions? And I said, yeah, scheduling. So scheduling is a big thing in my facility. That whoever's making the schedule, and I have said a couple of times, who's making the schedule? And she's like, I'm making the schedule. I told her, what is wrong with the schedule? Like, we close, we open. We close, we open. Constantly. We only get a couple of hours of sleep, and I gotta come back to work. I said, what kind of schedule is that? And she's like, well, you got up and availability, right? I said, even for the part-timers, guys, nobody wanted to speak up on that. Nobody wanted to speak up on the scheduling. Only one person was like, yeah, I come in and my schedule's changed for the next day. So then, I keep telling her, I said it's even the part-timers too. The part-timers, they also have this retarded schedule. You have them closing, and then the next time you have them opening. I said, that doesn't make any sense. I said, make it make sense. And then she's all like, well, that schedule, if you have open availability, otherwise. So she always is a smack to me. She always talks smack. Because she thinks I am sarcastic. She thinks I'm sarcastic, where I'm just saying, oh yeah, then why do this? Why do that? She even pointed out, we had an argument during the meeting, guys. We had an argument during the meeting. Me and her. She's like, I know you're probably just talking about what happened the other day. And I said, no, I'm not talking about what happened the other day. Whatever happened the other day is gone. What I'm talking about is us picking up after each other. You always tell us all the time to clean this, clean this, clean this. And then when I say clean that, it's vice versa. It's a big problem. And then she's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah. Oh, man, she went crazy. Guys, she went crazy. She was hot. She was in front of everybody. We were speaking eye to eye. We were talking eye to eye. And I told her, I said, look, I don't care what is going on with you, but you need to learn how to consume it. And I was hot too. I was telling her, you need to know how to consume it. It's not that hard. I helicopter all the time around the counters and stuff. And she's like, oh, yeah, oh, you can see, I could say she kind of embarrassed herself in front of everybody. She was very unprofessional. And I was keeping my calm, and I was saying, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that. I said, this is ways to improve this. She's like, how am I going to do it when I'm not the only person, blah, 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 blah. I said, there's ways to do it. At my old store, we had a thing called putting it up. If it's a core or return, it has a designated spot that it needs to go to. After you finish with that customer, you grab a core or the return, and go to the designated spot and drop it off. Come back for the next customer. And apparently it's not through her mind where that's a good system. And apparently she's like, well, I gotta take the next customer. I said, if you take the next customer, it's gonna keep piling and piling. She's like, we'll get to it when we get to it. I said, that's the thing. You get to it when you get to it. But if you see us doing that, you get crazy. And you say, hey, why aren't you putting this? I understand you want to be on top all the time, but I'm very dominant. And again, I'm very dominant. So then, after we just stop talking and stuff, one guy comes into the situation that he is about to leave. His last days are gone. You know, he's leaving out of Houston. He's going to another facility. He stopped us in between, and he's like, hey, this is what does not need to be going on. You against manager. A manager is stuff that needs to be said by the managers. And the associates over here, they need to be said. We should not mix people into the system. Because, again, me and the manager were connecting eye to eye. We were locked eyes. Locked. So we were zoned into each other, didn't see anybody else around. And the way she put it, I was like, yep, that's her. That's her. That's the real her. She is not nice. I'm telling you, she is a horrible person. She tries to be a better person, but she's not. She is not. After that happened, my other colleague, he had a little speech on why we need to communicate this way and that way. After the little speech that happened, they began to dismiss the people that were a different type of shirts, so different type of things, and had the manager stay. And man, did that go hot. And she constantly says all the time, so is there anything else you want to know? Is there anything else you need from me? And then she's like, I'm constantly asking you anything else you want from me, anything you need from me. And I'll tell her at that moment, no, you're asking at the wrong moment. And she's like, oh, I told her, well, you want me to ask this at this moment because it doesn't pop up right there. And then she's like, oh no, this is what you need to do. And this is what you, man, she kept going crazy, bro. She kept going crazy. And everybody started arguing with each other. Everybody was just arguing and says, why you do this? Why you hate on me and do this? Don't be calling me a name like this, and don't be doing this. And I was like, don't be, it's what you should be. I know what everybody's at. Everybody was at a chokehold. Everybody was just so aggressive with each other at the meeting. Another factor, guys. Let me go refill my cup. Another factor too that played into it was the timing. Who the heck has a meeting at the end of the day, bro? Who has a meeting at the end of the day? You don't have a meeting at the end of the day. I would separate. I personally would make the meeting on a Saturday or Sunday. If you know that you have teenagers that are going to school, college, or high school, you make an arrangement where it's like, how can we meet all together? Make a whole month arrangement and say, you don't work, you need to move your schedule around because we have this. Why make it a freaking at the end of the day? It's 10 o'clock at night, guys. 10 o'clock at night. Why are you having a meeting at 10 o'clock at night? But yeah, the meeting did not go well at all, guys. This was the worst company meeting I have ever attended. The worst company meeting I have ever attended. But yeah, guys, leave in the comment section down below and let me know on the worst meeting you ever had. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.